Welcome to Chapter 8 video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to configure a wireless router. Now in this diagram, let's assume that this is your ISP or Internet Service Provider, and also the Internet is actually connecting to your wireless router at home through either a modem cable or via satellite. Now your wireless router has three components. The first component is the WAN. Okay, it's actually divided into three parts. The WAN is where your internet service provider provide you with the IP address. This is a public IP address, subnet mask, default gateway, DNS. So normally you would not make any change to the WAN side. Okay. Now, between the WAN and the LAN, there's a firewall that actually built in. The firewall is to prevent hacker from easily hacking into your local area network. So that's what the firewall is for. Now, these are the feature or the category that you might have to change or you might need to reconfigure. Now, the network, the LAN side is the IP address for the wireless router. This IP address right here is the actual IP address for your wireless router, and the subnet mask. This IP address right here is also the default gateway for all device that is connected to this wireless router. Now the wireless category, you will need to change the wireless network name or the SSID, like I have it right here. And probably change the mode. You definitely want to change the mode to 802.11b, 11g, and 11n. For the channel, just want to leave it for auto. Security mode, you want to change to WPA/WPA2. And for the version or the authentication, you want to change to WPA2-PSK. For the encryption, for the security, you need to change to AES, and the password, you need to change to whatever you need to change to. Now this is the password where you connect to your Wi-Fi and it asks you to type in the password. This is your Wi-Fi password. Now for the DHCP category section, you will have to, or you might or might not, but if you want to, you can change the scope or the range of the IP address of that DHCP. Notice that this scope right here, it's actually start at 192.168.10.20 all the way up to 50, meaning that there are a total of 30 IP address available for this wireless router to assign to. So if any PC or laptop or printer will hook up to or connect to this wireless router, the IP address will range from .20 all the way to .50. And the lease time, this is where how long it will lease the IP address to that particular device. Okay, so in this criteria or this scenario right here, the IP address will be leased for 120 minutes. And after 120 minutes, if you turn off that PC or turn off that laptop, then when you turn back on, it will have a new IP address because it's already released the one that you used before. Now releasing the IP address will not hurt anything. It's just a matter of the way how these wireless network work. Okay, to prevent people hanging on the IP address for a long time. Now the fourth category that you might consider to change is the time zone. Now we are living in the Eastern time zone, so you need to change that to Eastern time, US and Canada. And the last thing that you probably will need to do is the password. This is the admin password. To get into the wireless configuration screen to modify or make any change in here, you must know the password. Somehow the Belkin that I'm going to show you does not have that requirement. However, your TP-Link has that requirement. You must type in the username and the password. And the default username is admin. The default password is admin2 for your TP-Link. Now I have include a couple of notes right here. It said that some of the wireless router require you to save or apply each time when you change the feature in each section. Okay, so you have to click on save or apply. You normally don't change or don't do anything to the WAN side. And if you change the IP address on the LAN, that is this IP address right here, and once you apply it, you have to type in that new IP address on the browser to get into the configuration menu. Otherwise, you won't get into it because you have changed the IP address. Okay? And if some reason you forgot your admin password, then you have no choice but to reset the wireless router to manufacturer default. That is, press and hold down the small pin on the back of the router for about 2 minutes when the power is applied or when it's on. Okay? Alright, let's make some configuration change. Now, first thing, what I need to do before I connect my wireless router to my computer, I need to get into the command prompt and type ipconfig. Notice right now the wireless has not connected to my PC yet, and this IP address right here came from my wireless through the college, okay, to the school. It's right here. It's also secure. So this where it's coming from. Now what I need to do is to connect my wireless router to the wall electrical outlet, and then connect the patch cable that came with the wireless router to one of the 4 Ethernet port on the back of the wireless router, and connect the other end to my PC or to the Ethernet port on my PC or on my laptop. Now once I do that, about a minute, I can type ipconfig, and I should see that the wireless is connected. There you go. It's Belkin, and it assigned the IP address of 192.168.2.2 to my PC, and the default gateway or the IP address of the Belkin wireless router is right here. Okay, so to get to the configuration of this Belkin, I need to type in this IP address to a browser. It can be any browser. I'm going to use the Firefox browser. Alright, there you go. Alright, so type / 192.168.2.1. There you go. It displayed the configuration menu or screen. Okay. Alright, now what I need to do is to go through each one of this category and make change. We have a LAN setup category, so section. We have a internet WAN section, wireless section, firewall section, and utility section. So I need to go into the LAN setting section. Alright. Now notice that the IP address of this wireless network is 192.168.2.1. Now I'm going to change that to .0.1, and for the DHCP, the starting IP address is 192.168.2.2 and ending with 192.168.2.100. Now notice that it starts with IP address .2, so it gave me IP address .2 for my PC. Okay? Alright. Now what I want to do, I want to change this right here to .0 and start with 50 and want to end with 100. So there are total available of 50 IP address available for me to use. Of course, you can leave it at 0 and end with, start with 1 and end with 100 or whatever. But just for practical purpose, I want to include this right here. Now, I believe for home users, 50 device should be plenty. Now the least time, I'm going to set it for 2 hours. Okay, and that's pretty much with this section. Notice I said we have to click on the apply or save. For this particular Belkin, they want to use to apply, so I click on apply change, and I'm sure you want to do this. I say yes. Okay, alright. Please change the address entry box in the status bar to browse this, and make sure you need to change that. But anyway, alright, here you go. So it's run through the new configuration, and it's saved it into the wireless router right now. Now that's where the note that I was mentioned earlier is right here. I said if you change the IP address on the LAN, then you need to make sure that you use the new IP address on the browser so you can get into the configuration. Now this is the IP address that before I change. Let's watch and see what happened. If I click on this right here, it's not going to be working anymore because I have changed that IP address. Okay, watch, see what's going to happen. It takes a long time before it actually bomb out. Normally the time on the Google Chrome doesn't take that long, but Firefox, I guess it probably allow longer time. Once it can no longer connect, and it will finally display. Here you go, the connection time out. Okay, the reason why, because I have changed the IP address to be .0.1. Remember? Alright, press enter. There you go. And let's look at the IP address of my PC now. I said start at 50, right? So IP config. There you go. Notice that it's changed from .2.2 to .0.50 because that's where I say my DHCP will start. Okay, right here, 50. So this is sometimes known as scope. The scope of the DHCP is 50 through 100. Okay. Alright, next thing that you probably will need to do is to change the wireless. But I just want to look at the LAN, the WAN. There you go. Notice that the WAN connection, and for this router don't have anything because this is not connected to any ISP or internet service provider, so everything's blank. Okay, I'm not going to bother that. Now next thing what we need to look at is the wireless connection. Now channel and SSID. Right now the SSID is called Belkin. Okay, now let's look at my wireless right here. Belkin's right there. Okay, now I want to change that to VANG, so I go in here and change it to VANG, and the wireless mode is fine. That's what I should use right here, and then the bandwidth, that's fine, and everything else looks good, so I apply change. Now notice this one is using channel 4, and it's autos right here, so that's fine. Alright, so I'll apply the change right here. Let's see. That's to change the wireless Wi-Fi right here. There you go. Notice that it's changing now, and just a minute. It has a VANG right here now. This is the old one, so it should not exist there anymore. Let's go back. Here you go. I believe I have to disconnect or turn off the wireless router and turn it back on before it actually loses this right here. For right now, it's still thinking, okay, it exists there. However, it is not because I already changed to this one. So, alright, let's connect to that. There you go. Prompt for me. And okay, here you go. Finally gone now. Okay. So I have successfully changed SSID from Belkin to Vang. Alright, the next thing that we probably need to do is to change the security. It's right here. This is the Wi-Fi security. For right now, using that. Now I'm going to change to RCC CTI 120. So that's going to be my new password for the Wi-Fi. And I click on Apply Change. And don't save. Alright. Okay, so that should be finished. And let me see if I can log into this right here. Alright, click on Vang and connect. Okay. RCC CTI 120 right here, and click on OK. There you go. I am connected. There you go. And it says, okay, you have no internet connection. That's fine because my router is not connected to the internet. Okay. This is simply connect to my PC and that's it. It does not connect the other end to the internet or the ISP. Alright. The next thing that we probably need to configure is the utilities section under the system setting. Alright. In here we want to change the time zone to Eastern time. Let's see, where's Eastern time? Okay, it's not listed in here. Let me see. Scroll it down. It should be somewhere in here. Yes, there you go. Alright, Eastern time, Canada, in US. And then I want to change the administration password or the admin password. Previously there's no password for this, but I want to change it and call it, I'm going to call it just like what I have right here. I'm going to call it Vang Wi-Fi 2019. So Vang Wi-Fi 2019. Alright, Vang Wi-Fi 2019. And login timeout 10 minutes, that's fine. So click on apply and don't save this. Now if I log back, I will log out and log back in, it will require me to type in the password to get to this screen right here so I can make a configuration change. Without knowing that password, I will not be able to make any change in here. And let's test it out. Alright, finish. So I'm going to log out. Okay, and log back in. Alright, now I'm back in. This just on let me see only, but if I need to get into it, okay, and submit, there you go. It says require password. So before I can get into do anything in this configuration, I have to know the password. And the password is Vang Wi-Fi 2019. Submit. There you go. I can get into it. And that's how you configure a wireless router. Okay? Again, LAN, that's where you need to configure section, the wireless section, and then the utilities section. Now these are the restore factory default. If some reason you messed up the configuration that you entered earlier, you can always restore to factory default. And after you make your change, if you feel that that's correct and you like it, you save the configuration to your PC so you can restore later on if something go wrong. And this is a firmware update. If from time to time the vendor do update the firmware, and you might have to update that firmware as well, or you don't have to. Okay, alright, thank you, that's all.